welcome to Drink of Thrones, the show where we discuss everything Thrones.
And of course, we drink while doing it
My name is Louis and I'm here.
with Jasmine.
Thank you. Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, same as always, we're going to discuss the episode, which was We Light the Way was the title of the episode. We'll get into why that might be. And we're going to start with our game shortly, but first,
We want to go ahead and just remind you guys to subscribe, comment, follow us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, IG, just to get updates on new episodes. We do try to release every Thursday for audio, sooner if we can, and Friday for video. So
you know what to do.
Yeah, go ahead and subscribe, follow, comment, let us know what you thought of the episode.
I never thought I was going to be somebody, smash that like button. You know,
yeah, smash that shit.
I guess we don't have to say it, huh?
Yeah.
But smash it.
Smash that shit.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into it.
The game for today is based on this series only House of the Dragon.
Hot D.
Hot D.
Hot sweaty D.
Okay, took it too far as always. No, and the game is called Who Said That? All right. In other words, I'll say a line.
Who said it? That no, okay. I tried.
Okay. And scene. It's a line that one of the characters said, and this is excluding the latest episode. I wrote these before the latest episode.
So I have to guess who said.
I will say a line
that quote
that somebody in the show said, and you just say it was this character.
Who said that?
Who said that? Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's do it.
Okay. Here we go. Number 1. The gods have yet to make a man who lacks the patience for absolute power.
The gods have...
I'll repeat it, and then I'll do a countdown of 5 seconds, and I think that would be fair.
Let's do it.
The gods have yet to make a man who lacks the patience for absolute power. 5, 4.
Otto?
Yes, Otto Hightower for 1 point for Jazmin.
Woo!
Okay, here we go. Question number 2. The gods give just as the gods take away. Who said that?
The gods give just as they take away. Viserys?
Wrong.
Damn
it was actually Daemon.
Oh.
So it's 1-1. The suspense is killing me. Here we go.
Okay.
The childbed is our battlefield, so we must learn to face it with a stiff lip.
R.I.P. Aemma Targaryen.
Yeah, she seemed like a cool queen.
I wish we would have hung out with her a little bit more.
I don't know if I feel so passionate about that, but she seemed cool.
I don't know if that was passion, but okay, let's go.
2-1. Here we go. The idea that we control dragons is an illusion. 5, 4.
Viserys.
Yes.
Woo!
3-1. Somebody's doing really good at this game. Here we go. Most of my years have been spent living in terror.
Most of my years. The White Worm.
Yes. Miss Saria, who is known as
Miss Cleo.
Yeah, Miss Cleo, the one with the weird accent.
Yeah.
Here we go. Number 5, I think.
Okay.
Dreams didn't make us kings. Dragons did. 5, 4.
Rhaenyra?
Daemon.
Shit. I'm getting all the Daemon quotes wrong.
Yeah, and you like Daemon.
I know.
Well,
I like a little, I like a man, a day man.
Nice.
Just kidding. But okay,
here we go.
Let's do it.
The road ahead is uncertain, but the end is clear. Who said that?
Who said that?
5,
Otto.
4.
Hightower.
Oh, shit. Hightower is correct.
Oh, woo.
All right. I think you won no matter what, but let's do them for fun. Here we go. The next one is...
You're looking a little thirsty over there.
Yeah, I'm going to have to take a shot. What is the brief mortal life if not the pursuit of legacy? What is this brief mortal life if not the pursuit of legacy?
Corlys?
Corlys is correct.
Oh, woo!
Oh, man, This is way too easy for you. Here we go. Everyone says Targaryens are closer to gods than men, but they say that because of our dragons. Without them, we're just like everyone else. Once again, everyone says Targaryens are closer to gods than men, But they say that because of her dragons.
Rhaenyra?
Without them, yes, Rhaenyra.
Oh shit. Okay.
All right, you only got
So
two
who
wrong.
won?
Well, I think it's clear you won, and I will have to take a
Woo.
shot. Now, we didn't do this on purpose. I don't think you did this, but we have a black shot glass and a green one.
I did it. I half did it on purpose.
Okay,
We
good.
had them, and then I was like, all right. good
Yeah,
choice.
so we're starting to see it's gonna unfold, but there's gonna be like a green side and a black side, right?
Yeah, but
So-
I don't think we should give too many spoilers.
No.
We also don't.
My bad.
Yeah, I'm like, I haven't seen whatever.
Yeah.
I know a little bit because if you follow the fandom at all, there's
Yeah.
no way you can avoid every
Knowing a
spoiler.
little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and because I'm such a good sport,
Yes.
and
You're gonna take it with me.
well,
Why not?
dragons, dreams didn't make it. Dragons, You know what I
Dreams
mean?
did not make us kings and queens. Shots of tequila did.
shots of
Here we go.
yes,
Wildfire.
cheers.
Okay, so let's get to it.
Okay,
Episode, we light the way. I think, as we're going to discuss, this is indicative of Alicent Hightower changing or starting to show how she's going to unfold as this whole story goes on. She's
Alicent,
definitely...
Watchtower. If you remember what they say about the watchtowers in Old Town,
Oh, yeah.
but yeah,
Yep.
you're right.
So the first thing we see is like Daemon going back to the Vale. To
Assassin's Creed style.
Assassin's Creed. Super creepy looking. And also, they didn't say a fucking word. They didn't say a word, just went in there, killed his wife.
Yeah,
And then he was out. And like super.
yeah. She gave him a little lip.
Yeah.
She mentioned. I mean, now we know they haven't consummated the marriage or
Also,
anything.
I don't know why. She's attractive.
No,
too.
she was fine. I'm telling you, she
Yeah.
gave me Brienne vibes, but less
Yes and no.
Brienne-y, but still a little Brienne.
But there's a
right?
little Brienne in there. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
I can see that.
Yeah, she was kind of cool, like coming in on her horse on the Vale, which makes sense. It's all mountains, right?
Then one of the things that happens next is we see Otto leaving. He just got fired.
Yeah.
He's out, pack his shit and leave, and then he's on his way out. And Alicent sees him outside. It's pouring. It's definitely not an ideal weather to leave, right? Probably for a long journey.
Yeah, no, very Natasha Bedingfield.
Yeah, I
Feel the
guess.
rain on my skin.
Yeah.
And
Feel
then-
the rain on my skin.
Yeah, the very Laguna. What is it? Is
Yeah.
it Laguna Beach or when she goes to LA?
The hills, you mean?
Yeah. Oh well,
Yeah.
you would know.
Yeah, I would
All right,
know.
I mean-
'Cause one of us is from Los Angeles County. The other one's from Orange
Laguna
County.
Beach. No, just
Uh-huh.
kidding.
Yeah, we wish,
yeah,
huh?
right. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
fucking
Hair's
broke it.
not blonde enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, yes. So the rainy day. Yeah. I think it's also maybe the rain because Otto. I know on your skin.
Yeah.
No, Otto
I
and
thought
like.
you were gonna say that.
I know. No, Otto. He's also not a big he doesn't want to show emotion. Like he does everything behind closed doors.
Yeah.
So maybe the rain is to cover up his as a directive, creative choice, right?
You can't see tears when
For
you
the
know?
emotion, the sky is crying. He doesn't have
Yeah.
to,
Exactly.
right?
Or you can conceal it. Like, oh, I'm not.
Yeah, me.
I used to be the hand of the king. You think I want to cry? This is just raindrops.
Oh no, it's more like this, huh? If you're the hand of the king, if you're the hand of
Of
Viserys,
this king, yeah, depending what hand. Which got really fucking gross. It moved to the whole arm, but we'll get to that in a sec. This is an important scene, I think, because we're starting to see. That's how I feel about Alicent. Is like she's gonna the first couple episodes. She's somewhat innocent, but she shows potential and of what she can be. She's not stupid.
Nope.
She executes well, and I think she's gonna evolve into something else, something that you should be careful with. You don't want to fuck with Alicent, I think, in the future. And this is a conversation that might be the muse to that, right? The
muse.
Yes. I don't know why I said it that way, but I said
You gave it
muse.
5 O's. Muse.
There's not O's in muse.
I know, but it's like you,
But
and then 5 O's.
Oh, I see.
Muse, not moose, but muse. But
Anywho,
yes,
this conversation I think is
yeah,
important for this story, and we're gonna fucking see that.
yeah. She's definitely been successful up until this point, right? Like,
and her, yeah, what her goals were, right, or her father's
oh
goals.
yeah, it's like, hey, you should do this.
Mm-hmm.
She executes.
Yeah,
she executes. She just hasn't had an opinion thus far, right? Because it's like her best friend is the princess. She has a duty to that. She's also a queen, so you can't really say much against that family.
yeah.
But then it's like, nah, it's been kind of out of her hands. She hasn't really been autonomous, but now that Otto's getting sent away, I mean,
she has no one to rely on anymore. She has to either survive and get things done, or to be quite honest with you, like, I don't think necessarily that Otto is incorrect, right? I think that this is a weird and cruel world where, hey, you're a threat to me, your kids are a threat to me, or to my power, I'm going to kill them because it's what needs to be done.
well, I mean, he's a hand for a reason, right? He's been a hand for a couple of years. So in this case, he's kind of telling her before he leaves, like, hey, watch out. No, they're not going to accept, or it's not going to be easy to accept a woman as an heir.
Yeah, especially the first one.
Exactly. So, and I mean, he kind of says, like, either you're going to be held at her mercy and you're going to have to kiss her ass and probably still fail, or you better probably shape up and train Aegon to be the king, because that's what's going to be easier to accept. And that, in all likelihood, is bound to happen. I
don't know if it's going to be to the extreme of Cersei, but I do think that she's going to have Cersei energy with her kids and power.
I do get that. I don't think she's as bad as Cersei, because Cersei
Give it time.
Yeah, well, yes, maybe.
Maybe.
I don't think she's as bad as we've seen her, because she's also not like in love with her brother and bitter about like not having a wiener, and like I don't think she has that complex.
No.
I think she's more put together than Cersei is. Cersei was more volatile. But I do think she's gonna have that cunningness and that maybe ruthlessness at the end of the day.
Beauty about where we are in this story, that we're
at the beginning.
Yeah, we don't know how they're gonna unfold, because if we base it on like just how characters unfold within this story from the previous series, like, people fucking change. People went from hating Jaime. First episode, Jaime pushes Bran, and then people have compassion for Jaime after, and his character development was probably one of the ones that changed the most.
Yeah, I think he was definitely a fan favorite, right?
But to get back on this one, I'm interested in, if I were to put my interest, I was like, who's gonna change the most? I would say, as of right now, Alicent is one that I'm interested in seeing, even if I like her less, or I hate her. At the end of this, I'm still interested in that development.
She started off. That's the thing, because she starts off very sweet and very like, she's just wanting to fulfill her duty to her father, to her sister, to her husband, to her kingdom, whatever it is. But it's now we're gonna get to the point where, more than not having anybody to rely on, she's gonna be able to make her own decisions. Yeah, right. Her own kind of, when
she has to sink or swim.
Well, yes. Now she's kind of growing up. She's gonna start to become autonomous in the way where it's like, you have power. How are you gonna use it? Not your dad. Not how your dad wants to use it.
Only you can control forest fires.
Yeah. Very Smokey the Bear. Yeah. So I'm also curious to see, and I'm also curious once they pass on the baton to the new actress, like how that's gonna go.
Yes.
Yeah, because
I'm nervous about it.
I'm nervous about it too, and like, I mean, and again, I know Alicent's character. She was in Bates Motel. She's been in a couple of other films and movies. Sound of Metal.
It's a good one.
Yeah, so she's a good actress. It's just interesting because now, I mean, I'm liking these two actresses right now.
Me too. I think everybody is.
And I do wish they kind of did it a little, like maybe a season and a half, just to give them a little bit more. But
me too. But the thing is that with this particular story, I think it takes time. Even in the time span for this story is way longer than the first series. So it's decades.
Yeah, it's just they already did time jumps and stuff. I just think I just kind of wish, but at the same time, maybe that was a choice so that we wouldn't get too attached.
Because we're already there.
That's what I'm saying. I know, but imagine
That's
if you
tough.
give it like another another whole season, like maybe at that point
you're gonna be bitter about it.
Well, yes. Then it's like, oh, it's not the same. I mean,
so right now it was a perfect time. It was probably mathematically calculated in the sense of like they're like, okay, we have 10 episodes. We're gonna do the first half.
It's thoughtful.
People. And then the second half, so people can get used to it. It's equal.
Because then it's like, they'll forget about them after this. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I don't know if we're gonna forget about them. Some people might, but it's.
I'm just saying it as like
for our benefit. I hope that we somewhat forget about it.
I'm just saying it more as like
forget about it. Huh? Yeah, I'm sorry. Okay, but then we have
I just meant it in a general sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
we'll see next week.
We'll see. Yeah.
Then we have the king that arrives at
Blackwater
Bay. Yeah.
Sounds and nobody's like it's the Tommy Bahamas of kidding.
There's nobody there to greet him. And he's like, hello, oh.
Yeah.
And he feels that's a little bit of shade thrown his way.
I mean, if what did we see last week? There was a Dracarys. That's the first one of the show.
Yeah.
So
that's the first Dracarys of the show.
So Dracarys, for anybody that didn't tune in and just stumbling on this episode or something, that's basically like if you guys have ever seen 70 show where Kelso does the burn.
Yeah, you got burned, dude.
That's it.
Yeah, it's a little shade. You got burned. However you want to word it, it was not good. And by the way, we do have a sound effect. I wasn't gonna use it, but it's there in case we need it. You want to hear it?
That's it. So okay, so hold on. Let me get back in there. Viserys shows up.
Yeah.
And then 5 minutes later, he's looking around.
He
looks
the
doors of the castle, and then
he's sweating like.
What happens?
There's nobody there.
No. What happens
when he's in the castle? Oh,
what happens?
I'm sorry. Wait. Dracarys, dude.
Yeah, and you know what? Yeah. It's not even fucking Corlys that shows up. It's the kids.
It's the kid. One of them is just like, you know what? The king of the seven. Fucking.
And one of them has boobs now.
Yeah, the king of the seven realms is here. I'm just gonna practice.
Yeah,
I'm practicing, dude. Imagine. Well, think about it. Imagine you having a huge fucking thing at your house, and you have kids. And then one of them just practicing fucking soccer in the front yard, just like whatever. The president of the United States is here. I'm just gonna keep practicing soccer or whatever. That's essentially what. And then the little sister comes out and he's like, "Hey, dude, my parents are inside."
It's because it's a bit of a long trip, but it's like also if you think about how fucking like how they greeted Robert Baratheon when he was king, it was like everybody and all the dogs from the fucking that they had, like all the horses came out and bowed. Not really, but you know what I mean. Like
the servants and the whole family
you could see the difference. And I mean, if it was shameful in the future, you don't think that's gonna be a fucking major ass burn.
But the problem I have with that is like, how long does it take to get there by boat?
Oh, you think like they couldn't plan for it at the time?
Well, what the fuck? I mean, it's so the window.
Yeah, but that's not why they did it.
That's not why they did it. Yeah, but I'm just thinking, like logistically speaking.
Nah, they weren't even cool.
Might take anywhere from 3 to 4 weeks. It's not like they narrow it down. I'll be there from 3 to 6, dude. And no, not even. You know, like it's like I might get there tomorrow. I might get there in 2 weeks.
Oh, you know what was something interesting that I read that you know how like Viserys sent somebody to the Stepstones to do like a message, and then Daemon beat the shit out of him.
Yes.
Okay, so the messenger. So then I read something that said that so in Game of Thrones, I think they asked one. I think Bran asked like the Maester, like or somebody, or it's like or John asked the Maester, like why is it that we send birds? They send birds like crows, right, or whatever, or to do messages, and it's because they don't want to fuck up the messenger. The messenger gets fucked up.
Well, yeah. Can you imagine?
But also, isn't that kind of a cool little like tidbit? It's because of that because of that situation.
And if it's not that specific, when it's moments like that, right?
But that was like a little nod to that is all. Because this was done after. No, it was.
Can you imagine being the messenger for that shit? You don't know if it's a good message or a bad message.
Well, it might be a message. It might be a mess. Am I right, ladies? Am I right? Woo! Shout out to all the thronies. I thought that was funny.
The thronies?
The thronies.
Oh.
Yeah, the thronies.
I kind of like that. But...
but yeah, so then that happens, and then Viserys is like, Viserys whatever.
Viserys is there for one reason and one reason only.
He comes through.
And it's to arrange a marriage between...
Also, he looks like shit.
He looks terrible.
Seasickness, and also he's been sick.
Yeah, he's been sick since day one.
Yeah, and they come in, they greet him. Corlys says, hey, yo, and then in comes Rhaenys comes in pretty quick, right?
Yeah, shortly thereafter.
And she tells him, hey, you look like shit.
No, cousin. And he's like,
cousin. Oh, yeah, and he's like, are you okay? And he's
obviously not. Yeah,
I'm fine. And they shake hands, and she shakes like some of his nubs, and he's like, are you sure? And he's like, no, I'm fine.
Yeah.
But she probably ripped off one of his fingers.
Yeah, if he has any left. Of it. Yeah. So they're discussing the marriage. There's a little bit of resistance, not really, but they're negotiating even. This should be a slam dunk deal for both.
Well, at this point, Corlys knows he's a catch. Like, he just won that whole shit. He's not really like, now they're living somewhere else, and he used to be on,
Yeah, so they agree to it, right? But the whole thing is, thanks, babe. The whole thing is, will the kids have the father's name, because that's the tradition in Westeros.
Well, and also, what was that quote you said? Like, he's interested in his legacy.
He's interested in his legacy. Yeah, absolutely. It's all about legacy in this. Egos are very high in Westeros, and they finally come to an agreement that
Westeros. I just wanted to try it out. I don't know if it worked.
I think I know the answer.
Let me know in the comments.
Us down below.
Okay,
did that work? We'll let them decide, baby. Anyways, they kind of meet in the middle, where it's like, yes, we'll accept, and then, but when the kid is of age, whether it's a boy or girl, the firstborn will ascend the throne, and then they will have the name Targaryen. But I think it's important to realize that I think the reason why Cersei is adamant about that is because of the prophecy. It has to be a Targaryen.
A Targaryen must be on the throne.
The Song of Ice
and Fire. Isof, right? The Isof prophecy.
Stop trying to make fetch happen.
It's Isof. Everyone on Reddit knows what the Isof prophecy is. Yeah. Okay. But yes, so that's definitely, it seems that's why it is. We as the viewers know that, but nobody else, right? Because he's only entrusted that information to Rhaenyra. Yeah. And so it's not like Corlys loves it, but at least a Valyrian will be on.
It's a fair deal.
Will ascend and then be a Targaryen. Because, they're like 75 cents, right? Targaryen.
75%, baby.
Well, 73 quarters.
Okay.
75 cents.
Okay, 75 cents is fair.
Yeah.
And then we cut to the lovebirds. Right? Walking on the beach, so cliche.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, oh, what's your favorite color or whatever? But they're not saying that.
They're saying so some people.
And then when we were watching it, it went way over my head. Yeah. I was like, oh, I think they're like, I thought they were agreeing to just like, we'll get married and fuck some other, whoever we want. And you're like, oh, no, it's because he's gay. And I was like, he's gay.
I was like, so he's gay. Yeah. And you were like, wait. What? Yeah. And I'm like, he's telling us some people like goose, some people like duck. I don't know why I like goose. Yeah. I don't know why you like duck, but that's
you know why.
Totally cool. And then she goes, but I think it's a little greasy.
Exactly. I wonder what that means.
Well, it's a little greasy. I'm just kidding. Nah. But anyways, yeah. So they're basically saying like, hey, I know. You like one thing. Hey. I like one thing. Yeah. That's totally fine. Let's keep on eating goose and duck
I
separately.
was like, finish the sentence. Let's keep
Goose
on
and
eating. I
duck.
was like,
Yeah.
taking too long.
Yeah, so
Um,
they basically agree that they're gonna have an open marriage,
yes, and then
right?
we hear the scene right after that is just it. It backs up everything that you thought, right? And then we see.
Yeah, and you're like, oh yeah,
I was like, oh shit, you're right, and I just didn't catch it.
yeah. No, it's
Corliss
definitely
and Rhaenys are
it
talking
was
about how
subtext for
you
sure.
can't, his true nature.
Yeah,
We're putting our son in danger, and I
he's
mean,
like, oh no, you can never. The best thing in the world is the
yeah,
flavor of a woman.
yeah. He's like, yeah, but
There's
pussy,
nothing in the world. Yeah,
you don't
but all
know,
the pussy stuff,
yeah, all the pussy
all
stuff,
the pussy
yeah,
stuff.
and she's like, but I think he thinks pussy stuff
Yeah,
is
I
yucky.
know. Right? But
Yeah,
you know what? It was also sweet because you really get a mindset into. We really haven't seen Rainey since that last scene where she's talking to Rainier, right?
yeah. That's the thing about Rhaenys.
She's a pessimist though,
Well,
because
she's
of
a
what
pessimist. No,
of what she lived through.
but yes, is she pessimistic or is she just a realist? That's the question.
A little bit of
Because
both.
um, she's been through it. If no one else, she's been through it as a woman. And like, yeah, I was so close, but
Yeah.
yet everybody said, "Fuck, no, not a woman."
But don't you also think it's kind of like a coping mechanism in a way, like because what was it about her that wasn't worth it?
Yeah.
And it's like it's almost better to think like
Oh, they don't
no,
want any woman.
it's society.
Me.
It wasn't me. It
Yeah.
almost is more comforting, right? And I think that's why Corliss kind of tells her, hey, like, no, these people are fucking closed-minded. They were closed-minded, then you should have been queen.
Yeah.
You're way better than Viserys. And also you're not falling apart, right? But so I think
Who's to say she was better off anyways?
I mean, he kind of, which I thought was sweet. He was kind of telling her those things. He's like, no, look, well, because she's kind of like, no, it'll never change, blah, 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 and whatever. And he's kind of like, no, look, dude, we have shit in our favor. We have half the dragons that are out there. We have the biggest naval ships that are out there, and we're rich.
Yeah.
So it's like we're gonna be there to protect it. We'll make sure it happens.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of sweet to see them have that moment, and it's interesting to get an insight into like this is a conversation she's having in private, where she had this conversation with Rhaenyra in a way that was also kind of like, honey, that's not gonna happen for you.
Yeah.
And she's having the same thing with her husband, who she has no reason to be. They obviously they like each other. You can tell, So it's also interesting that she's a pessimist in that way. But I'm curious to know, because I haven't read the books or I don't know anything ahead. Like if she will be I'm assuming she's gonna be an ally because her family will marry in. But how will she actually feel?
Yeah, we'll find out.
Like is she?
I mean, I know a little bit, but I won't. Guys, back off. I will not spoil anything. We're here for the ride.
I'm telling you, I'm debating between reading it, but somebody commented
and also I don't know what they're gonna do. Like if they stick.
Well, they could switch it for sure. They could
switch some shit. They do switch stuff,
yeah.
And then even the slightest thing could be a little different. And I think I would.
Missy Elliott switched that thing and reversed it, right? No,
that's two.
I know.
Okay, and then we see the lovers of these people that are going to possibly be wed at this point, right?
So they both agreed, right? They're at this point they're all fiancés, but they all kind of have their own relationships going on the side.
And we see Leonor with Joffrey.
Yeah.
And they're
different
Joffrey, just as annoying. Not as annoying, but close. Like he's annoying.
Yeah, he's kind of
different level.
Look, both the lovers are kind of annoying at this point. You're in love still with Kristen, not me. Not me. Well, I fell out of love real quick after this episode.
Well, he's an angel.
Okay, well, he's an asshole. I don't know.
But we'll get to that in just a second.
It's not as bad, but yeah.
But anyways, we see them interact, and one is obviously less harsh than the other. Joffrey and Leonor are still very much in love. It seems like it. Whether it's, I don't know if it's love.
Unless I don't know, maybe.
But it could just be lust. I don't know, or a mixture of both. But they're still in it.
Yeah, they're into each other, and they started off. I think it's important to note that when we first get introduced to Laenor, like the first scene where he's on Blackwater Bay, like he's with him.
The Stepstones,
No,
right?
it was like it was back at the beginning of this episode.
Oh, I thought you meant when
No,
we
they
first
were like
see him growing
they
up
were
and he's
sword
fighting.
fighting, which again, if you look it up on Urban Dictionary, they also
they
do
sword
that.
fight
They
in
sword
more ways
fight.
than one.
Yes,
Is what you're saying. You're
yeah,
right.
yeah. I'm saying,
interesting.
look it up.
Yeah, I wonder who's the sword and who's the sheath.
They both have swords, and you can sword fight with both of them.
Yeah. So okay, well that was a joke on who's the top
No,
and the
I
bottom.
understand.
But,
I understand.
okay.
But you know.
So then we see Kristen Cole telling Rhaenyra, "Hey, let's just run away together.
Let's run away together and like go to Essos.
Yeah, it's pretty much saying let's
get married, and you never wanted this anyways. You always complain about how you don't want this responsibility, and your name title is so blah 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 blah. And she straight up tells him like, "Yeah, but I'm the heir. It's bigger than I am, and
I am the crown." She says.
It's like, yeah, we've known each other for a long time, and I was also like a teenager that was just kind of saying shit, you know, like. But it's like, no, yeah, I am the crown. I'm not gonna. It's bigger than me.
That's very
She wants it too, you know.
I would imagine that it'd be very, very hard to like turn down.
Which means this guy didn't really know her at all. He didn't stop to think about her, you know, about she's like this type of person. She just thought like, also we're in love.
I think we get confirmation that if she's into anybody, it's her uncle, Damon.
She's definitely into her uncle.
And as much as you and I were, maybe one of us is still in love with Kristen Cole, but at one point we were both like, "Oh, Kristen all the way."
Yeah, not anymore. Not after this episode.
Okay, fair. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion.
Yeah.
But we see him get rejected. Doesn't take it well. It's kind of heartbreaking, and
heartbreaking for him.
Well, yeah, for him.
Yeah.
And it almost.
She was like,
"Come on."
Well, she told him like, "I'm down to bone, but I'm still gonna get married," because he wanted to run away, and I think he also felt like he because he's like, well, you know, all I had to live for was my honor and like being a Kingsguard, and he thought it was for love.
He lost more than she did in that sexual encounter.
For her, it was lust. For him, it was love. I mean, now, right? Post.
Well, you have to think about it as she's the queen and royalty, right? And then in those times, or in that realm or world, whatever, they take, like Damon said, you take what you want. And it's very much that with royalty. If I want to fuck you, I'll fuck you. If I want to fuck another person right after, I will do that. Cersei, remember when she's sleeping with Jaime, who gives a fuck? We do what we want. And that's exactly the behavior she's showing. And in his case...
But it took her a while to get there.
It did, but she's only, 19? Or whatever she may be? She's still young. Anyways.
No, I meant Cersei.
Oh. I think she always had a level of who gives a fuck.
No, yes, but to actually like... Because with her brother,
to get
obviously...
To that, yes.
But to get to the point where she felt like...
But when she got to be... Like, when Cersei was queen, she automatically understood that, like, I am in charge. I make the rules. So if I say if I want to fuck my brother, then let them see I'm going to.
Well, that was later. Well, she didn't have a man to.
Well, that was recent to when she was queen. After the youngest killed himself.
Yes.
That's anyways.
Yes. So
I think that's how Rhaenyra is acting right now. It's like, yeah, you know, we take what we want. She doesn't say that, but she's living that philosophy. And
well, she also thought it would be fine. I don't think she thought he was gonna get hung up like that.
Yeah,
that's the thing. So she didn't think it was gonna be a big deal, and then it turned out
Sir Kristen sprung, huh?
I guess so.
Yeah, and he didn't take it well.
No,
and he gets upset, and I think that's gonna play a major role.
And all this conversation is happening while they're on their way back home.
Yeah.
And then real quick after that, and I think that's definitely definitely another Dracarys burn, right?
Yeah, you want me to? If anything, I think it's even more of a Dracarys. It's like he got
Okay, so I'm gonna set it up again, and then
yeah.
okay, so then Rhaenyra comes in, says, Kristen Cole's like, oh no, let's run away together and get oranges and
Marry for
spices,
love.
and then Rhaenyra's like, I'm good, but we can still bone though, and then he's like,
and that's how he felt. He felt fucking
crispy,
Dracarys his ass.
crisp.
Yep.
And then we're back. We're back at King's Landing.
Alicent sees, and this is where we see the new Alicent. This is what I'm talking about, dude. This Alicent is gonna be fucking hard to deal with.
Well, there's a suspect, right? Because now, what is it?
Well, her dad got in her head.
The new hand.
Yeah.
It wasn't even her dad. Her dad did get kind of in her head.
Crooked Foot.
But yes, so it's
Lyris, I think is his name.
So we have Strong. What's his name?
Lyris Strong, I think is his name.
No, but the hand.
The hand is Lionel Richie Strong.
Oh, yeah, so
it's
Lionel Strong, who love. I'm here for him.
He's very wise, huh?
Well, he seems to be just solid, and like his delivery is pretty good. I mean, it doesn't seem to be spying with little kids yet, but
we'll see.
Yet. So his son is creeping around the castle now because his dad's the hand. So he has like this little creepy little convo with Alicent at the Godswood, and he basically puts the suspicion of like there was a moon tea sent to her. But I'm glad that she's like, oh, she was gone that day, because he's still trying to cover for her, and she's like, well, I'm glad you're wrong, but he's being all fucking salty.
Yeah, and that might have been the reason why she was like, call Sir Kristen Cole.
Yes,
to my
I think
chambers
absolutely.
And this fucking idiot.
Yeah. So then they go, and he fucking
rats himself out. And
out.
He thought it was, but that's the thing about him, right? Right now, he's just like, fuck him. I'm honorable.
He feels bad, and he got rejected. So even worse.
Yeah. Dude, he's going through all kinds of emotions.
Yeah, too many.
It's easy for you to say.
It is absolutely easy for me to say.
Yeah. You never met the hot guy in Westeros.
Yeah.
You just
he should be a virgin.
Well, whether he was he should, since he got appointed into the King's Court, he should definitely be celibate. Celibate. Whether he had sex or not before it.
I think he was a virgin though. I think I read that somewhere, but also
it could be. And also, Rhaenyra was fucking not like a virgin, by the way. And you said that during the show.
Yeah, I was like, that's not how it happens, but okay.
Yeah, but okay. Maybe she's just, that's how.
Not that I would know, because,
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah,
so anyways, yeah. So Alicent's like is basically saying like there's these rumors about her and her uncle. Doesn't outwardly say that to start, but then but it kind of alludes that something was happened, that her virtue was questioned. Rhaenyra's virtue was in question, which is a big deal, but whatever. And then he ends up being like, it's true, it was me, I boned Rhaenyra. That's exactly what he says, also direct quotes.
Yeah.
And then she's like,
it was I who boned.
Yeah, I boneth
boneth the princess Rhaenyra. Yeah. And I make those booty cheeks clap.
Well, she clapped her own booty, but
yeah.
Anyways, yes. So then he's just kind of like, hey, I just want to ask you, solid. If you're gonna condemn me, don't torture me or anything. Yeah. Just I was just in love. Like, can you just?
I don't know if he was that annoying, but
he was pretty annoying.
Okay, just truth be told, Jazmin is now.
I'm out of love with Sir Kristen Cole.
Very much not on his side. Sir Kristen Cole is on her naughty list. And for me, kind of, but I didn't see, it didn't bother me that much.
By naughty list, it's not eat. I will not be eating Kristen Cole up with my eyes, with my mind, no longer.
Okay. I mean, fair, to each their own.
If you guys saw the episode, which I'm sure you did because it's a spoiler drunk review, at the end of the episode, there's a rat drinking blood, and I think that rat is Sir Kristen Cole. Comment below.
I do think there's some meaning there that
there's a lot of rats.
Director or writers.
There's a lot of rats.
Anywho,
yeah. So that
let's
happens.
just get to the big part. The wedding.
The wedding.
So much to discuss.
Also, we are drinking champagne because it
Yes.
was a wedding.
There was a wedding, so that's why we're drinking champagne.
There was a wedding, so,
yeah.
you know.
And we see that everybody's there, kind of, at least in the main table 1.
Yeah, well, all the Targaryens.
Except for who?
Oh, except for Alicent.
Who is doing it on purpose.
And they asked, too, like, where's the queen? And she's like, oh, I think she's still getting ready, is what I've heard.
Yeah.
And also, Daemon comes in like an asshole at the end. Also exiled. Still comes through.
I wonder if he got an invite.
Absolutely not. He's exiled. He shouldn't be in the hole. He shouldn't be landing at King's Landing. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? But anyways, yes. So he comes in and like an asshole. Viserys looks at him, but of course says nothing.
Yeah, he's weak.
Yes. And
they're like, he nods to the servant, gets a chair. All right. Well, got his way.
Yeah, and there's like a pretty, and then, you know, also, who happens to be there too, is fucking one of the Royce families.
Gerald, I think.
Gerald.
The cousin. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. So
and then he was like, are you
he
conferring?
accuses him.
I was like, I'm fucking throwing an accusation, asshole. Yeah. What are you talking about, OJ? You killed your wife.
And then Daemon reminds him that because there were no heirs, that he's gonna inherit all of their land. So maybe he better be a little nicer to him. And he does shut the fuck up and leaves. So it worked.
And also, they didn't consummate the marriage. So should he even get anything?
I don't know if it works that way there.
I don't know either. But
I know, but
they have the word consummate, so it doesn't.
In Spanish, it's almost soup. Consomme. But anyways, and then we go on, and then
let's just stop. Let's just have a moment of silence. How did you feel about that joke?
I felt
okay
about it. Okay. You know, I felt okay about it. I don't know why you act like you're trying to shame me, and I'm
not trying to shame you. I just wanted to just.
Well, you didn't, so.
Didn't work, huh?
No. Okay. Marinate in that. Meat. Okay. Anyways, so then fucking all glorious and fucking gold and white hair. And
you like this
and beautiful skin.
Jazmin, you like the
claps.
showmanship of the
Valerians.
Valerians walking in like. Yes. I don't know.
Well, it's because the thing is, everybody, like the maesters and everybody fucking as soon as they come in, they clap and shit. And they're just, I think everybody's happy with this union. It makes sense.
It makes sense.
It makes people feel like things are going to be prosperous. And I think they want to show you that. Like the fact they're having already the 7-day festival and all this bullshit. And like they're coming in looking fucking good and not like, not like the Hand's daughter and all that bullshit that happened before. Like, it's not a problematic marriage.
No. And we have this first dance thing going on, and they're like...
I mean, that looked like a weird Egyptian sideways dance, but yeah. Oh, they did this, right? They did the hands in the back, and they were like, ooh.
Oh, that was how they ended.
They did that's how they bow. They, like, bow like...
Yeah.
Like, what? Like, what would that be?
A swan? I don't know. It looks fucking pretty stupid. Right, they go way back there. It makes no sense to me.
I did like the dancing because you were right. It is kind of like Egyptian stance. But...
I thought Indian wedding.
Oh, you did? I didn't think that.
The Indian weddings take days. This one was gonna take days. They have like a bunch of festivities.
Yeah, but the dances
like dancing.
were different.
Well, of course, I'm not saying it's like identical to an Indian wedding. What I'm saying is the way. The magnitude of the weddings, I think, similar, where it's multiple days.
I do wish
a lot of dancing and like
the
a
Valerians.
Lot of, like,
the Valerians had Valerians had I'm sorry for all the viewers out there that feel uncomfortable. So do I. Louis dancing for everybody listening at home and.
Get me out of here. It is what you're saying. SOS.
It is as cringy as you'd imagine. Anyways, yes. I do wish that they had better wigs, though, because their hair do be looking crunchy sometimes.
The combo is nice, right? The complexion.
Yes.
But it does look like...
But they need a little bit of a... Well, it's a little bit like...
A Lego helmet.
Well, it's a little Party City. Like...
Yeah,
invest a little money in their wigs.
Yeah, it's HBO.
Yeah.
Not the.
Oh, also, and then okay, so now everybody's all happy about it. They've been dancing, but then what is it? What's her name? Lenora? What? No, Leanna.
Oh, baby Beyonce.
She's fucking making. She's making googly eyes at Damon because obviously, like, you know, his brother didn't want her because she was a kid, but now she has boobs, and she's like, "Ooh, what about you?"
I don't know if that's how she feels, but
Okay, well,
but she's definitely eyeing Damon.
yeah, and then I mean,
and she's forward about it.
Wait, she's boobs now.
You have boobs, you're forward. I mean, no pun intended.
It's heavyweight up in the front, you know.
And what I mean? Their interaction obviously is interesting.
Yeah, but he's obviously more. Damon is making googly eyes at Rhaenyra the whole time. Like,
so is Rhaenyra at Damon.
Well, yeah, you get a cool
She's
shot
not into
though of
Kristen
like
Cole. Kristen Cole was just
she just wanted. She was hot and bothered by her uncle, and then
she was like, somebody's gonna do
the
this.
first weenie at the door. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then so they're all both making googly eyes at each other, and then also Laenor's being a little forward with his man in front of everyone.
It was a little annoying.
It was annoying.
Like, all right, guys.
They're both just be private about it because it's
he could have said like, hey.
Yeah.
After all this.
Yeah. So then behind closed doors, there's all this.
I got some tea for you.
Speaking
of tea, I got some tea for you. I was like, and I would have been like, oh, tell me. I was like, nah, I'll tell you fucking after. We don't.
So then, in the midst of all this, right? Like, Joffrey is.
Ugh, I can't stand Joffrey.
Is having.
Joffrey's a fucking asshole.
I feel like that about Kristen now. But anyways, Joffrey is having trying to have a conversation with Kristen.
Uh-huh.
And, you know, he's also being annoying and kind of just telling him, alluding to the fact that, like.
Who is being annoying?
Both of them. But Joffrey
Kristen's
right now.
Literally just standing there.
He like a serial killer. Staring at Rhaenyra.
It's his job to stare at Rhaenyra.
Not like that. Not like that.
Yeah.
Not like Christian Bale in American Psycho.
Oh. Yeah, he was coming with that kind of energy.
Yeah, he was. His cheeks were hella clenched.
But Joffrey didn't have to go and bother the fucking guy.
No, he's annoying. They're both annoying. But yes, Joffrey comes in and then tries to basically tell him like, hey, I saw your butt cheeks clenched from all the way across the room. I know you've boned.
His butt cleats.
His butt cleats. Yeah. He's spiky, man.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, so he tells him like, hey, I know. And then he's like,
oh, you know.
And you know
that I know
that I'm boning him.
Yeah.
Like, he gives himself away. Like, this fool, Christian doesn't even know, by the way. I don't think so. Yeah. But anyways, so yeah, that happens.
But then what does he do after? He puts his hands on Kristen and goes. And that's, I think, when it doesn't happen automatically right there, but it didn't help Joffrey's situation.
Well, yeah, but Kristen's already a psycho at this point because he was rejected.
He's not a psycho at this point.
No.
Shortly thereafter, but
he's already like that because of his eyes, psycho eyes.
Look,
he's like Silence of the Lambs. Like he's a psycho there. If I saw somebody staring at me like that, I need mace.
Yeah, I guess so, right? But I didn't.
I get it. You're in love with him, but anyways,
no, it's not that. It's just like. They didn't have to be all blunt about it. Not so soon. They don't know this guy. They can maybe approach after the wedding and like, hey,
I agree.
We have an inclination that this is happening. You tell me if this is right or not.
I agree.
I'll tell you straightforward, like Laenor and I are, you know.
But I don't. I also don't think it was like they didn't think that was gonna happen. They didn't know Kristen was going to be a psycho.
Know. And we were waiting for that moment, right? Like, we were with, like, oh, these weddings fucking go a certain way. And,
I was like, shit.
Like, what's going to happen? We were just like, is it Daemon? Is he going to do something? Is Daemon's ex-wife's cousin Gerald Royce gonna do something?
Well,
What's gonna
in the
happen
midst
here?
of all this, right?
Yeah.
Like right before Damon and Rhaenyra are
Yeah.
having a conversation in Valerian, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, which is obviously a language that isn't necessarily around as much. There's not many people that know
It's
it.
for them.
So it's for them, yes. And they're just talking about how, I mean, Damon's pretty much saying like, you don't want this, right? This isn't what you want. He's a good guy and he's safe. You don't want this.
You don't want this. You want this.
Yeah, and he takes out a cigarette from like his folded,
then she goes, I'll light you.
Yeah, it's like on his folded sleeve, and he takes it off, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm a bad boy. This is what you want, huh?"
Mm-hmm.
And she calls his bluff and is telling him, "All right, then, you know what, dude? Just fucking look. You want to go? I'm not married yet, but I'm gonna be married pretty soon.
Yeah.
But if you fucking want,
away.
Steal me away. Very Mexican culture. Róbame. Steal me away.
Yeah.
Steal me away. Yeah. Fucking ram through all these Kingsguard. Let's go." And she knows he's not going to do it. Yeah. She knows. The only thing that gets him is his family, his brother.
And her. Really.
And her. That's pretty much it. And she knows. He came in all polite. And even before then, he came in all polite with the crown and like super cuts. And here, oh no, here you go. You're the true king. She knows.
He's an asshole, though.
Well, he's doing it. He does that shit because he's an asshole. But it's
it's just that I just don't see it as coming in all polite.
But I mean, he's saving face, like in front of everybody.
To an extent, yes.
You know what I mean? Like he's seeming.
But he throws shade when he can.
Yeah, but he throws shade to the people that know he's throwing shade. It's not for everyone to think he's an asshole. Do you know what I mean? Like, well, in this case, when it's been a big thing, when he's trying to reintroduce himself and at least get in, right? He's trying to get a free admission, you know, into these VIP sections. And he does it by being like, well, ooh, you know, like just being nicer, sweeter than he is, maybe, or seeming to be. And in this case, again, she calls his bluff, knows he isn't going to do it, but it's abruptly cut off by Sir Criston Cole beating the shit out of Joffrey, just pummeling his face, right?
I was for it. I know you were against it. I was for it.
No, look, I thought the scene was cool with like the brains and all that stuff, but I do think he's a psycho.
Well, yeah, to an extent he is.
Well, yeah, it's like you got rejected, dude. Get over it.
I just thought that Joffrey should have just dropped it. He was pushing it and pushing it and push. He thought he was clever.
Yes, he should have. But also, Joffrey's not working. It's like if I work my shift, I have to be like, I should be the better person.
But that's like those idiots that go to the what are the guards in front of Buckingham Palace that can't speak with the stupid.
Oh yeah.
Those guards are just like chin straps and
Manchester or whatever.
And people get right next to them and taunt them and this and that, and they just.
But they don't do anything.
Sometimes they do.
Most of the time they don't.
Sometimes they do.
Most of the time they don't.
Well, all I'm saying is that sometimes they do, and that's what this time.
Yeah, but Kristen's being a little bitch. Okay.
So somebody
just because he got rejected, get over it. You don't have to fucking murder somebody at her wedding. Relax.
I don't like Joffrey.
I don't like Joffrey either.
We don't have to worry about Joffrey anymore.
Well, yeah. Because that fucking asshole.
Thank you, Sir Chris.
I don't know. He's annoying.
No, I think he's going to be annoying. Yeah.
He's been annoying.
For like
this
20
episode.
Minutes.
No, for like exactly 60 minutes. The episode was 59 minutes and 90 something seconds. And that's how long he was annoying for. Run away with me right now. Oh, you're a queen. But give all of that up for me.
He lost more in that sexual transaction than she did. And that's...
He also could have said no. It took him 20 hours to get off his armor. He had a lot of time.
Yeah. It did take a day and a half to just like be naked, I think. Went right before sex.
Yeah. So he had an opportunity.
Yeah.
So
anyway, they tie the knot.
Yeah. So then they do it.
They still do it.
Doesn't take them 7 days because they're like, well, in light of all the
imagine
situation.
Getting married when you could see you can see the pool of blood of your lover, and you're still like, I do.
Yeah. Like, well, that's what he did.
Yeah,
right?
That's kind of what he was doing.
Yeah.
And Rhaenyra wasn't any happy.
Well, she felt bad for him.
Yeah.
they're also friends. Like they're friendly. Like
They're friendly.
Rhaenys says too. Like, oh well, they've known each other. They're gonna be comfortable. They've known each other for years.
Yeah.
So I think honestly, best case scenario for them at this point, not the fact that like his lover got pummeled, but the fact that
Well,
like,
yeah, definitely not that.
no, but the fact that they're each other's like transactional love interest, right?
It's a good match for them, especially because they're already right off the jump.
Yeah.
Hey, this is what this is, right? And then you and I can still do this. And then
They keep their autonomy
cool.
to an extent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's if anything, it's like the perfect match for her.
Yeah. So it's like, yeah. So that happens, and there is a scene that we did forget to mention.
Which
and one? So in the midst of all of that, before all of that happens, Alicent comes in finally. She's
tardy to the party.
She's tardy to the party. She finally comes in, and she's wearing this fucking splendid green dress
or gown.
Yes, but if you notice,
or drown.
Yes, if you notice, before in all the scenes before this, essentially prior to her becoming the queen, she's wearing Targaryen red and all these intricate Targaryen dresses. I think in another episode I had mentioned how it's interesting to see all this just Targaryen garb, like that's thought into, like wealthy, because prior to, you have Daenerys and Viserys, the brother, that they're poor and they're like the beggar king and all that shit, right? So we don't really get to see that other than this season, really. So she comes in and she's wearing green, and that's like she's sending a message, right? They're whispering amongst each other and saying like, you know what the banners at Old Town, right? What they look like, or what color?
Well, you know what color that lights up when they want to call out the bannermen
and go to war.
It's
green.
A green light.
Yeah, and also, I mean, that's Otto's. Those were Otto's colors. Those were her colors
those
before.
Were Hightower colors. Yeah.
Yeah. So she walks in.
She's sending a message.
She's making a statement without saying it.
Yeah.
And she does speak to Rhaenyra directly.
Tell me you're about to be a bitch without telling me you're about to be a bitch.
Good.
Come in late with a green gown.
Good fortune to you, or like good luck, whatever. Stepdaughter.
I bid you good morrow.
So yeah, so it was very much like
Lady Jazmin.
So Rhaenyra knows at this point that she knows.
Well, she also calls her
stepdaughter.
A stepdaughter.
That's what I'm saying. She straight up told her like, I know.
Stepdaughter. Fucking Dracarys, dude.
And she fucking looks like, shit.
Yeah.
She knows.
Yeah, she knows. And it's just like, ooh.
And it was interesting because like when she was having the discussion and the conversation with Kristen Cole, she was wearing the outfit that she was wearing when it's like, I think it's like a dress, like on the sides, it's open like a ladder almost on both sides. There's little cutout, like square cutouts on the side. And she's wearing that when she was good friends with Rhaenyra. And I think that's kind of symbolic of the fact that she didn't want Kristen to give her any negative information. She wanted to be reaffirmed in her decision and choices, so she didn't feel bad about her dad and shit.
Yeah, but
didn't turn out that way. But I think that was maybe the last part, where the last thing we'll see of her really trusting of that Alicent, like you were saying. So it's just the clothes and like the colors and all that stuff, I think has been very important in her.
She's making statements one way or another, right?
Yeah.
It's just being late, tired.
Yeah, and people noticed. People made comments.
So I'm telling you, man, this is the beginning of a new Alicent, and it's obviously gonna dictate how this story is gonna unfold. And that's pretty much the episode, and then we see the preview.
Well, she does also show mercy to Kristen multiple times, right?
Yes, but I think it's for a reason.
Well, yes, I kind of think they're gonna bone at some point or something.
Perhaps,
but it does. But
like she's building out allies and making moves.
Well, she's building
Sir Kristen
a relationship too. I mean,
the whole Sir Kristen thing is not necessarily. I think it's something that she's doing for her own benefit, not for Kristen's. And we'll see.
Well, yeah, I think. I mean, we'll see. Yes, we'll see, because we don't get much other than because Kristen goes to the Godswood after he pummels Joffrey and stuff, and he's ready to like Japanese style.
Yeah.
Stick a knife.
Yeah,
in the
suicide.
stomach.
Yeah, I'm a
Yeah.
failure.
Yeah, but then Alicent comes by and tells him to stop, basically, and we don't get anything.
We don't see
else.
what happens after that.
No.
I just think she's doing it because she, at this point now, she's changing. She's making decisions decisions that are gonna make her be closer to.
I also don't think.
Have control.
Look, she hasn't gotten a good bone ever. I think he's gonna bone her. I think they're gonna bone and they're gonna get close and whatever. I think that's gonna be the case.
I mean I think that's implied in the teaser for the next episode. I think
maybe
we don't know.
In
That's
either
the thing
case,
with the editing, we don't know.
You don't know. So
I'm interested to see how that's gonna.
But that's basically the episode, and then we move on to the preview.
We move on to the time jump, right? We say goodbye at least
to
for
young,
the most to
young Rhaenyra, young Alicent,
and
then fucking the Valerians already got old and got
somehow he was a little
stuff.
kid, and Lenore now looks 15 years older than Rhaenyra.
It's just weird that it's just weird that they're.
It's tough to tell this story with the.
But yes, we have to grant that it's a story and we move forward.
Yeah.
But
let's just try to let it go.
Yeah. Next episode,
mm-hmm.
Tons of babies.
It seems like it, right?
It seems like it. Everyone and their mom is having babies.
They just been fucking.
But whose babies are they? That's what we don't really know.
Yeah. And what's the dynamic between those babies? Like, do they get along? Do they even live in the same city?
How far is the time jump? Like, how much time? And then it's also like, I think you and I were discussing, like, we're excited but also nervous to see
it could be
how this time jump is gonna work, because we're already a little attached, and I think that they did a good job.
Yeah, especially because how we felt about the old series is like proceed with caution. So let's see how this happens.
I'm excited. I'm open-minded.
I'm excited.
I'm ready.
I'm more excited than not. How about that?
Me too. I mean, it's also like, I'm sure this is going to be like a couple seasons, so we're mostly going to see these people moving forward. So I'm excited to just see how the transition goes.
Okay.
So
fair enough. Well, guys, that does it. Well, that wraps up our episode for today. Stay tuned next week for episode 6.
Yeah,
I think so.
Be sure to subscribe, like, follow
everything she said. Yes.
Likes, follow us on Spotify, Apple, and IG and YouTube. And there is one more thing. I did accidentally pour us another shot.
Accidentally,
and so I don't like to be a wasteful person, so I think we should take that one. But
just
thank you everyone for
thank you guys
joining us. Pour yourself another shot and let us know in the comments if you're excited for the time jump, if you are excited to see the new actors, if you're nervous about it. We want to know. So let us know in the comments down below and comment. All right. Well,
no.
Have a good one.